Of course, we know you have started for some months now, but this is the day we are recognizing you. As you take this important step, I urge you to embrace the opportunities that come with university life. Beyond your lectures and assignments, please take time to explore, research, and engage in extracurricular activities that will develop you intellectually, socially, and professionally. Be curious, ask questions, seek mentorship, and build friendships that will last a lifetime. However, with great opportunities come great responsibilities. Success in the university requires discipline, hard work, and integrity. Stay focused on your studies, manage your time wisely, and always uphold the values of honesty and diligence. Your journey will have challenges, but perseverance and determination will see you through. In our department, we are committing to providing quality education, mentorship, and a conducive environment for learning and research. I'm sure you have seen some part of it with your course advisor. She's a course advisor indeed, and a mother indeed. I'm not sure you have met your staff advisor. That one too is also a father, but with a mother's heart. Our faculty and staff, our departmental staff are here to guide and support you. But ultimately, your success depends on your commitment to learning and personal growth. I encourage you to make the most of this opportunity. Please dream big, aim high, and work hard. Start from now. Start from now. The University of Lagos is a place where leaders are made and destinies are shaped. You are not just here to earn a degree, you are here to become a solution provider, a critical thinker, and a global leader. Once again, I say congratulations on your welcome or matriculation, and I wish you a fulfilling and successful academic journey. Now, I have 10 take-homes for you to take with you. I will appreciate if you take this down. Now, I'll leave you with these key take-home points. 1, take ownership of your education. Your success is in your hands. Stay committed. Attend all your lectures. Do all your assignments. Go for all your practicals and develop a habit of continuous learning. Time management is key. We were to start at 12 and only 14 of you were around. So learn to prioritize your studies while balancing extracurricular activities. Avoid procrastination and stay organized. 3, integrity and discipline matter. Uphold the values of honesty and hard work. Please to avoid shortcuts and unethical practices that could jeopardize your future. 4, seek knowledge beyond the classroom. Engage in research. Join academic and professional clubs. Please don't join the wrong clubs. There are different clubs now, but make sure you join the right one. Attend workshops to expand your understanding beyond textbooks. If you're a Christian, join the CU, the Christian unions. If you're a Muslim, join the MU, the Muslim unions. Please make sure you stand firm and stand strong. 5, build meaningful relationships. Surround yourself with focused and like-minded individuals. Network with your peers, your lecturers, and mentors who will contribute positively to your growth. Anybody who is a minus or a division, run away from such people. But make sure you have the addition and the multiplications as friends. 6, resilience will take you far. Challenges will come, I tell you. But do not be discouraged. Learn from failures, adapt, and keep pushing forward. I stand all the time. I have a lot of failures, but I don't sit on failures. I don't sit on failures. I stand up, dust my body, Even though my leg may be broken, my hand may be broken, I try to see how to mend it, and I keep working gradually until I start running, then I start flying. I want you to copy me and even be better than me. Make wise choices. Avoid distractions, negative peer pressure. Those are the minuses and the divisions, and activities that could hinder your academic success. Remember, the decisions you make today will shape your future. Think beyond graduation. Start planning for your future now. Develop skills. Seek internship opportunities and position yourself for a successful career. You belong here. You earned your place in this university. Believe in yourself, stay confident, and make the most of this golden opportunity. In number 10, enjoy the journey. Don't endure it, enjoy it. University life is a unique experience. While you work hard, always also take time to enjoy the experience, make memories, and grow into the best version of yourself. Now, I want to say this. Some of you did not even go near zoology, but you were asked to do it. Start now and do well. Do very well. You may live in 200 level. You may live in 300 level and go back to 200 level in another place. But please, whatever you are doing now, do it well. Do it well. Don't keep doing jam, 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 jam. Most students who do that eventually go out of the university with a third class. What do you do with it? Even a 2-2 now is not recognized. Now, I want you guys to know, case in point, one of my boys did he did biochemistry. And during the POIC 1.0, Professor Gundipe Innovative Challenge, he was the content writer leader. And he did a great job using the computer. He got a job with that thing and the reference we gave him. He went to Poland. I think, no, not Poland, somewhere in Europe. He worked there for 2 years. He worked and earned good money. Thereafter, he just applied, he did that thing. He didn't do anything with biochemistry again. He became a content guy and he became an IT guy. From there, I just wrote a reference for him. 3 weeks later, if you want me, you can come, I will tell you and give you his number, you call him. 3 weeks later, this guy got admission to come do master's PhD in US. He did biochemistry, now he's an IT guy. So it's just the beginning. What you need now is a baseline, a base. You can move anywhere. You can do anything once you have this first degree and you do excellently well. Remember, you are one of the best. That's why you're in University of Lagos. If you're not one of the best, UNILAG won't take you. The people that came through the door. They didn't come through the window. So you're one of those who came through the door, and it means you are not, and you will excel. I want to beg you. Your education is a dress rehearsal for the life you are meant to live. A little extra will make you extraordinary. Therefore, be one. Put extra. All the best, guys. My door is always open. You can always meet me anytime if you have any problem. Your staff advisor is always there. He's a father with a mother's heart. And your course advisor is always there. She's a mother indeed. Please, if you have any problems, you can always come to us. We're available. We want you to excel. And it will be our joy if your set comes out with 20 first class and the rest of you make a 2-1. It's a challenge I'm throwing to all of you. 20 first class and the rest of you make a 2-1. No 2-2, no third class, no failure. It's possible. If you don't know how to make it, meet us. We will advise you and tell you how to do it. We want your set to go unprecedented. And why? Because you have decided to be extraordinary. All the best, guys. Now, finally, I want to pray for you all. Can you all close your eyes? My Father, my God, I commit these young ones unto your hands. I thank you for bringing them to University of Lagos Department of Zoology. Some of them are not happy at this time. Some are happy. Some are just managing. I pray, Lord, that you will encourage them and let them see that there's so much to do and so many places to go, even with this zoology degree. Encourage them, Lord. Encourage them, Lord. Help them and make them stand firm. Even as we said, we expect 20 first-class students from them and the rest with a 2-1. Please make it so and help them to be extraordinary. In Jesus' name, amen. Over to you, President.
Amen. Thank you so much for those beautiful words. Thank you so much, Ma. We are really grateful. So with another round of applause, I want us to appreciate Professor Kehinde Kemabonta, the head of Department Zoology. I want to see our reactions. I want to see our reactions. I want to see us clapping our virtual hands, even as we celebrate the head of our department. By God's grace, when school resumes physically, we would have the opportunity to interact physically with our HOD. She's a loving mother, and I am very sure that we have seen a bit of our motherhood, even in our welcome speech. Thank you so much, Ma. We really appreciate you. So right about now, I'll be introducing our first guest speaker. Our first guest speaker is Mrs. Ajayi. Mrs. Ajayi. All right, and I'll be reading her profile. She's on the call now. You're welcome, Ma. I'll be reading her profile before bringing her up shortly. So yes, Izein Ozen Ajayi is a seasoned QHSE management expert with 24 years of experience driving regulatory compliance, operational excellence, and sustainability across public and private sectors. Currently, she serves as National Head of HSEQ at African Circle Pollution Management Limited, ensuring MAPOL convention compliance, and as a lead auditor with DQS. All right. Our expertise spans environmental management, occupational health and safety, waste management, ISO management systems. Academic credentials include a background in zoology, postgraduate diploma in occupational health and safety, master's in environmental management, executive MBA. She's currently pursuing Doctor of Business Administration. She's a fellow of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. She's a certified auditor and a member of various professional bodies. She's committed to mentoring, empowering youth, and promoting environmental sustainability and workplace safety through training, mentorship, and speaking engagement. So with a round of applause, I want to see our virtual hands now. I want to see our virtual claps now. I want us to welcome our first guest speaker. Yes, quickly, I want to add that she was the first female president of the Department of Zoology way back in 1998, 1999. So yes, she's a seasoned leader as well. So yes, with a round of applause, I want us to welcome our first speaker, Mrs. Ajayi. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ore. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's a pleasure to be here today for this orientation given to the freshers organized by the Department of Zoology. But before I start, I want to give honor to whom honor is due. So good afternoon, Professor Kehinde Kemabonta, the HOD of Zoology, and to all the other lecturers on this call, and also to the executives of the National Association of Zoology Students. So I congratulate all the new students joining this academic journey. The theme for today is from skeptic to scientist, embracing the wonders of zoology. And I think this is a perfect reminder of how this field opens doors to incredible discoveries and meaningful careers. I need you to understand that zoology is more than just studying animals and ending up working in a zoo, like some of you are stereotyped to believe. It actually plays a crucial role in understanding biodiversity, ecosystems, and sustainability. And today I'll be speaking on zoology, a pathway to environmental sustainability. I'll share my journey, challenges I faced, and how zoology has shaped my career in environmental sustainability and waste management. And I hope to inspire and guide you as you begin this new chapter of your lives. I don't know if I can share my screen. If I can share my
Yes,
screen.
ma, you can, ma. You can,
Okay.
ma.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, ma, we can.
Okay. Yes. So I need all of us to listen. I only have about 25 minutes to 30 minutes to do this, and I'll be out of your face. And I believe that within the short time that I'll be able to inspire someone. I'm a living proof that, whatever situation you find yourself now, I really, in fact, your HOD indeed is a mother, because she just took it out of the words out of me. I mean, at a point I was like, I think we've even ended the session if that's all we've heard today, because that was a very powerful, inspiring message she just gave as a welcome address. And so I am here as a living proof. I'm an industry practitioner. Okay. You've heard my profile. I have over 24 years of experience. I am an alumna of your department. Some time ago, I was also a student here. And I came in also intentional. My intention was to read medicine. I think that was my first choice. My second choice was, okay, if I don't get medicine, probably dentistry, and I felt I had all it took to do it. But along the line, jammed me, and I didn't get what I wanted. And I was offered zoology, like I'm sure most of you. I don't think anybody used their hand here. Correct me if I'm wrong, as first choice, zoology. And I was offered zoology, and just like please could we mute ourselves so that we reduce the echo. And just as your HOD said, it dawned on me that the faster I settle down and accept what is before me, the better it is for me. And if they had told me then that today I'll be doing what I'm doing and excelling to the extent in which I've excelled thus far, and I know that the sky is still there, I still have more horizons to conquer, I would have said it's a lie. So it doesn't matter, that you're here now. What matters is what you make out of this, and I use the word opportunity that you've been given. So I serve as the national head of Health, Safety, Environment, and Quality Department, and zoology was my foundation in getting it into where I play in today. I'm also an ISO lead auditor with a DQS, ISO certification organization. DQS is a German company, and I'm also a technical expert in waste management, also working with DQS. So I play in multiple spaces. I also consult for companies. And like I said, it's all in the mind, what you make out of your experience. So please don't waste your 4 years. And I want to start on that note. Don't waste your 4 years. You have 4 years in front of you. Spend it wisely, because the time you spend here will never be brought back to you. So I have an icebreaker saying, why did you choose zoology? Why did you choose zoology? And I want us to make this interactive in the next 15 seconds. Put it on the so even if you didn't choose zoology, why did you take it at the end of the day? Why did you accept the offer? Because the truth is, they didn't force you to come and register. You paid a fee, you registered. So you still accepted, even if you did not choose it originally. So why did you end up accepting the offer? There must be a why. Is it because you didn't want to stay at home for one more year? Is it because, so let's start from the basics. And I want us to quickly use the chat box to get that. So I'm waiting on the chat box. Just type, why are you here? So I won't sit at home. Beautiful. So I need more. Keep it coming. Why are you here? Someone is saying she had waited for 3 to 4 years for admission. Yeah, so I won't sit at home. You know, so I need more. I'm sure you're about 50. Okay, let's minus the lecturers. I'm sure you're over 40 on this call. So I won't sit at home. So I won't sit at home. Keep it coming. I have like 7 seconds left. I chose because it also has to do with animals, including human. I want to give it a try. I chose zoology because I'm interested in the course. Oh, beautiful. I want to meet this person that is interested. Beautiful. I wasn't getting any younger waiting. I heard it's possible to move to medical field. Fine. So you see, everybody has a reason why they are here today, you know. But the basic thing, I think out of only one person said she was interested. Every other person, something brought you along the line to be here. I personally, I just said I didn't plan out to be a zoologist, but I found myself here. I want to tell you, my short time with you here is to expose you into the practicality of some of the things you'll be learning in zoology and tell you that there is a lot happening out there. So stop listening to the stereotypes outside telling you that, oh, what are you doing in zoology? You're just wasting your time. You're doing a course that you might not get a job outside. Those are lies. Those are lies. And I want to bust that, those myths. And like your HOD said, it's how you start matters. How you finish matters. How you start and how you finish. But how you finish is affected by how you start. So if you start on a wrong note, your outcome will be affected wrongly. And so zoology is a gateway to solving real world problems. I wish someone sat me down too and told me some of these things. I actually entered UI first, spent a whole year in UI, crossed to Unilag because I was promised something else, ended up not getting what I was promised, wasting, and then I found myself again in zoology until it dawned on me that if all this, then there must be something God is trying to tell me. And then I decided that I was going to settle quickly. And I thank God I made that decision quickly. Some of my mates, it was when they got to 300 level, it dawned on them that they were stuck in zoology. So they used their first year trying to change. The truth is not everybody will be able to change. Not everybody will even finish zoology and go and do medicine, because some of you have that. Not everybody. I mean, in fact, the percentage statistics is very minimal. So the area you settle down, that this is the foundation of your journey in life, the better. So zoology is a gateway to solving real problems. And the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simply the mindset. The mindset. The mindset. What is in your mind? Who do you see yourself as? What are you thinking concerning the zoology you've gotten admission for? Because whatever you feed your mind and populate your mind with, that's how you will act out. You cannot progress beyond what is in your mind. If all you see is zoology is a waste of my time, I'm just here, this is non-entity, your outcomes will be negative. You will just find out that you're not excelling, and you'll be wondering why. And we don't pray that to happen to anyone. I love the prayer she made, your HOD, and said, about 20 some of you, first class at worst 2-1. And it is possible. It is possible. So please, I am here today to tell you that there's a whole lot happening outside there, and we're welcoming more of you into our environmental space if you so choose to. And even if you want to migrate somewhere else, like she said, I'm in the industry. Nobody will choose a mediocre. I have friends that in the banking today, they are CEOs, they own their company. Some of them started from the same zoology, but they still became the best at what they were doing. So you cannot, and your first degree is critical. No matter how much degrees you add on top, that first degree matters a lot. It's the beginning of the door opener for you. So please, I want us to settle down immediately. No matter your why. In fact, redefine your why today. If your why is that, redefine it. Redefine why you are in this department, and then tell yourself, the next question I have here is, what do I want to achieve with my zoology degree? I cannot answer that for you. You have to sit down. Now you have found yourself here, and I've told you, redefine your why. Because if you do not have a true purpose of why you are here, they said if you do not know the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable. You will settle for anything. And then tell yourself, what do I want to achieve? And in this place, I'm not just talking about in terms of even in what you want to come out with your degree. What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? You might not know everything. You might not know whether you're going to work in an oil company and you're going to work in a manufacturing company, but you know you want to succeed. Write down this vision and then begin to prepare, because the answer you give will determine the level of preparation you're making. If you do not have any destination, no vision, nothing, you're not seeing anything, all you see is bloodness and cloudiness, you will not, there will be nothing for you to work towards to. So you need to aim high because you're seeing something higher than you. And then I'm not here to teach on what is zoology, because you have your lecturers here, you started lectures, so some of you have already been exposed to introductions. Basically, it's the scientific study of animals, and it involves a lot. It's a whole lot, and there are various areas where you can plug into. You have the wildlife management, biodiversity. I can't read all. I'm playing presently in the environmental space, and even that is even a broad space. Even in the environment, there are various aspects. I'm into oil spill remediation, bioremediation. I'm into waste management, pollution control, and my foundation, everything sprang from zoology. So there are career opportunities out there. Don't let anybody deceive you. But you will not get these opportunities with a third class. Or even if you're going to get it, you're going to be like a needle, a camel passing through the eye of the needle to get it. So you need to put in your best foot. The competition out there is massive. Massive, massive, massive. So you need to put in your best foot, because there are real opportunities for zoologists out there. It might not come in, but there are. When even adverts are saying they want BSc in zoology, it will shock you. But when your mind is closed that, I'm in the wrong place, nothing good can come out of it, you won't be open to see the opportunities around you. So you need to open your mind, free yourself, remove the negativism, and don't allow the external people outside, the stereotyping, don't allow it to get. I was told all sorts of things. I was told that I can never get in some particular industry. I was told that I can never, I've already put a limit on myself even as I've started. They might not have said it in those exact words, but those were the interpretations to me, that because I'm in this field, then a limit has already been placed. But that is a lie. And I'm repeating it, that is a lie. So open up, because there are opportunities out there for you to thrive. So what is environmental sustainability? And I'm sure this is also a field we're all used to, and it simply refers to, responsible and strategic management of natural resources to ensure that ecosystems continue to provide essential life. So in essence, what I'm saying is, even as we are using resources, we are using it prudently, such that the future generations will still have these resources available to them. And there are various aspects of environmental sustainability that ties into what you'll be doing in zoology. And that will shock you. There are, because in my field, for example, we do things like environmental impact assessments. The team of the environmental impact assessment, part of the team is made up of people that read zoology. We do other things. Waste management is called pollution control, and in the waste management, we do things like recycling, treatment of process, because we have, I'll go into that later when I'm giving a brief history in details of what I do. But what I'm just trying to say is that the options are out there. And because the new world of work is changing, it was more difficult in my time to say these things to me, because there was nothing, everything was fixed. We didn't have so many of these opportunities. We didn't have access to the internet the way we have it now. Now you have resources out there. You have access to information out there. The world is globalized. Anything happening here, you can see it in the other part of the world. And so it's a global world, a global economy. And so you can see things happening, unlike my time when those opportunities were not really there and available for us. But now they are. And so work is changing daily. The kind of work that is being pushed out by the business organizations is changing daily. And so you need to cash in on this. And I want to tell you that what you are doing is not irrelevant if you know how to position yourself well. And number one positioning is come out well, settle down, put in your best, learn the skills that you need to learn. Don't only learn everything, come out well, come out with a degree, come out with the university, not only you passing through the university, but with the university also passing through you. So where can a zoologist work? I've just been saying, in different places. I have crisscrossed industries. I have worked in oil and gas. I have worked in Unilever. I have worked in, I'm presently in the maritime industry. That's where I play. I've worked with the government organization, Nigerian Ports Authority to be precise, pollution control. So there are many places out there. But if your mind is closed, you will not be open to these opportunities. So quickly, I'll be sharing my journey, which is what I was talking about, and my key lessons. But as I'm talking, I will be bringing out various nuggets. Number one, I will speak to you people on is understand the system, the way things are being done in, first of all, University of Lagos, and secondly, in the Department of Zoology. Understand the culture, understand the system. You can't be in a place you don't even know what's going on. Opportunities are coming in every day. Opportunities for you that you can benefit from even as a student. I'm in various platforms, and some of these opportunities, they are being sent to me. Scholarships, grants, this, that even as a student, you can cash in on. But when you are closed, when you don't even know, nobody knows you, you don't know anybody, you're just on your own, you're mourning the fact that you're still in, this is not where you should be. Even if it is, you feel it's not where you should be, at least for now, make the best out of where you find yourself in. So you need to understand the way things are done, understand the way the lectures run, understand, and it goes next to building relationships. Your HOD she mentioned some of these things. You can't do life alone. You need, and when I'm talking of positive relationships, you need to build healthy relationships around you, collaborations. You need to surround yourself with people that are smart and are going in the direction that you want to find yourself in. And then, of course, get involved with what is going on around you. Get involved in activities. I was the first female president of National Association of Zoology Students. I was also I played a bit in politics. So I was the secretary of the University of Lagos Science Students Association for a brief period also. For a particular, I think that was my final year where they were doing elections to hand over to the next set of executives. But apart from doing all that politics, even in the department, get involved, let people know you for good, let your lecturers know you. These things will play up later in life. Seek mentors. Your HOD was saying it. Seek mentors. I wouldn't be where I am today without the help of mentors. And I'm even talking about mentors from my lecturers when I was in University of Lagos. I remember when I got one of my very first jobs in HSC. and I approached Professor Odiete. When I was in school, he used to be the HOD then, you know. And I approached him and I told him, I said, look, I have, because the kind of, even when I left school, I was still in good relationships with at least majority of my lecturers. And I reached out to him and I said, sir, I have this job. I'm still new on this. And he gave me all the templates that I would use, all the backup. You will even think he's one consulting for the company and I'm just the middle person, because that's the way it was playing out. So seek mentors. There are people that have gone ahead of you. You don't even need to go far. You are in year one. You have people that are in senior classes. Seek mentors. Let them guide you. Let them, tell them, ask questions where you don't know. You know, don't be ashamed to say you don't know something. Ask questions. Seek help when you need help. There is nothing new that you are doing that somebody else has not walked that course. I will not be where, I mean, I have the likes of even Professor Chukwu, that was your deputy vice chancellor. I think they just recently made him vice chancellor of a university. He was one of my lecturers. We are still in touch till tomorrow. You know, Professor Alor, I think he was also a former deputy vice chancellor in your school. There was a time he wanted to do a particular job with one of the IOCs, and he called for me to join him on his team. I was still a student then. You know, so seek mentors, let people know you, and told the path of people that have gone ahead. You don't have to start reinvent the wheel. You don't have to start from the beginning. There are people that have done this thing before you. Ask questions, find them out. You are the one that needs more help than they need you. You know, find them out and ask relevant questions that will help you move up faster. My prayer every day is that the people I mentor should go ahead of me and become better in life. I have mentored and had the opportunity. A number of people have passed through me, either from internship to NYSC or whatever, but there is no one that will look back and will say that he or she remained the same, passing through me in whatever industry or wherever we met, or, you know, or worked together. So my educational part, I will quickly spend time on that. But I want to start by saying, anticipate and prepare for opportunities. Anticipate and prepare for opportunities. So in the real world, there must be an alignment between that educational part and your career part. I have had to upgrade, upscale my skills over and over again to become relevant. You can't, so whether you're even reading engineering or the jobs or the courses that you people think that are the in courses, you cannot read it, come out and just settle and say, oh, I'm now this and that is the end. No. So whatever course you read is still the foundation, because you will still need to upscale and upscale. It's continuous change, and you will need to keep changing and changing, adapting and adapting to meet up with relevance. If I still had the same skills I had 10 years ago, I would have been out of job. But what I do, by the grace of God, is to anticipate, oh, this is where things are moving on to. And I jump in, of course, with the direction and the wisdom of God. And I, you know, prepare myself so that by the time it gets to that thing, I'm well prepared. When you're looking for someone to represent, my name comes up on top, because I have what it takes to play in that space. And so when I came out of zoology, after zoology, I got, my first job was actually, so I'm going to mix career and education, and I hope you pick some nuggets from this. So after zoology, I came out, my NYSC, surprisingly, was Unilever, and I was put in marketing department. I did not lobby it. I didn't go and meet anyone. We wrote the exam. They said I passed merit. We were only two. The other lady came from abroad, schooled abroad. She read biz admin. Izehi Ajayi, read zoology. They put me in marketing. They said marketing is for special people that are the brains, because you have to generate innovative ideas. And they put me there. But you know that background of zoology and all the things that involve myself, and that's why I'm telling you, get involved, develop yourself, develop even your soft skills. And how do you develop it? Is when you are playing active in the space you find yourself in. You know, all that was not wasted. The analytical mind I had, the scientific mind I had to carry research. So they'll throw me in the field and say, go and do market research. In fact, it was towards the end of my youth service that one of my bosses realized that I was a copper. He said he never knew. But after even the youth service, I was retained because I was exceptional. So they put me on a kind of contract arrangement, which was to, in due course to get permanent. But along the line, I left for personal reasons, and I got into another job. Now, this other job I got into was a British school. And the school that was when British schools were just starting in Nigeria. So I was one of the pioneer staff of the British school. Again, I was not going there to teach biology. So you see, you need to, all this warped mentality, oh, you can only be a teacher. You can only remove it. Because I never had that kind. So I started by telling you that what is in your mind. While I was in University of Lagos, I kept saying to myself, I will never look for a job. I will never be begging. I will never. And I set a cap. I said, my first whatever, this is what I'm going to be earning. This is what I'm going to be. And people around me told me it's not possible. You didn't read this, you didn't read that. But I didn't listen. I blocked off all that information. And so I got this British, and the truth is, all the jobs I've gotten have been by referrals. I'm not saying that I've not applied for jobs, but the ones I actually got and I thrived on were by referrals. I sat in my house and I received a phone call. What are you doing? Come for this, blah, blah, blah. And I went and I got the job. And, I was meant to be like an administrative, house mistress, like administrative. So the school was just starting. They wanted to set up policies and all that, and which I was very much involved in. I was still on that job when I received an offer or a call. Are you interested? Nigerian Ports Authority is taking people. And I put in my distance and I got the job. And I was put in pollution control because I actually I had a passion to be in that, play in the environmental space. That passion I discovered, maybe because of the kind of mentors I had. Because at the time I was in uni, like almost all my lecturers then were playing in that space. And, I had the opportunity to follow them to some events, some workshops. I was exposed to that. So even my project was on oil pollution, and I worked with, so my project was on ecotoxicology. It was my master's project that was oil pollution, so I was exposed to that. So I had that, developed that passion, and I always wanted to play in that space. So I got into pollution control department, and again, of course, the government, this thing, but I didn't allow that to affect my mentality. It was an evolving department. It was at that time, and all this one I'm saying is a space of, is a space of how many years post-university, a very short period, because it was pam, pam, pam. And as at that time in Nigerian Ports Authority, HSC started in College of Medicine, Occupational Health, Safety and Environment. And so I was contemplating, okay, what do I do now? Should I, because like I said, you prepare for opportunities. So I went to meet one of my mentors, I think Professor Diete, or is it, I can't remember, either Professor Diete or, and I was like, I have this, and then he advised that I go for HSC. But you know what someone told me? Someone told me, I was like, even if you go for HSC, they can't take you because they can't take you in a viable industry apart from where you presently find yourself. Because it's actually engineers that they really like, they really take when it comes to HSC. But I didn't allow that naysayer to stop me. I went ahead, I did it. I think I was the second set or thereabout. It was evolving. Of course, HSC was top-notch already in foreign countries, but it was still evolving in Nigeria. It's still even evolving, let me say, because we still don't have policies and all that, especially for the health and safety. Environment is what is more structured. So I got into it, I excelled, I came out again with a distinction, and then I introduced it to my people in the department, and they embraced it. Today, as I speak to you, Nigerian Ports Authority has a full-fledged department, Occupational Health and Safety and Environmental Management Department, starting from a young girl that read zoology, that decided that she was not going to allow the odds to be against her, that she was going to break the glass ceiling, that she was going to do what they said could not be done, that she was going to change the narrative of what they said, the caps and the limitations they had put above her. That was my mindset. So after Nigerian Ports Authority, by the time I was finishing the HSC, I decided to go further. I went for environmental management, master's in environmental management. It's good to tell you that all my academic qualifications are from University of Lagos. So I'm a bona fide University of Lagos alumni. when I'm speaking from a place of depth of experience, interacting with University of Lagos. So I did my Master's of Environmental Management in University of Lagos. And at the same time, at that time, I got another job. And this time was the place they said that no zoologists can never play in the oil and gas space. Yes, it might not have been the so-called multinationals, but I've been in, I played in the multinational that people kept, which is the Unilever. And I thrived there. So what I'm saying is you can actually play anywhere. It depends on you. And it's from your mindset. And so I worked in oil and gas. It was we were more into offshore work. In fact, I remember when there was a period when I was trying to get into, I'll speak to that maybe when I'm talking about my challenges, but let me just mention it. Because another thing that was a lot of stereotype was, okay, so even if you find yourself in this environmental space, it's dominated by men. And this is a young girl saying she wants to do what men are doing. But I challenged myself. When you have odds against you, you go an extra mile. When you know that there are odds against you, the sweetest thing you can give for revenge is success. The more you are succeeding, the more you are shaming those that said you cannot make it. But when you fall for what they say you are, then they start to gloat and laugh over you. So I got into this company. We used to deal with vessels. It was also in the maritime. It was on oil and gas, the maritime aspect of oil and gas, and then offshore and all that. And I was, again, the HSE, heading HSE there. And, I actually even pioneered it. How did I get that job? I was in my house. Someone called me and said she went for a job interview. And while she was in the job, she was waiting for her turn. And then she heard, I guess they are the bosses, the MD and maybe one of the GMs saying, they didn't even advertise for HSE and they need someone in HSE to, And then she stepped up to them and said, oh, if you want HSE, I have someone that is very good though. And that's how she called me, am I interested? And the rest is history. I got into this place. I even got in before her. She read biz admin. She was coming in for something else. I was the one that now used my, by the time I got in, after a couple of months, relationships are formed to help her to get into a subsidiary. She couldn't even enter the main head of corporate, the mother body. She couldn't even enter immediately. So what am I saying? The sky is open for everyone to try it. It's left for you to decide. And then from there, I got into the present. Okay, so I was doing other jobs. People would call me, come and help me write this. HSE was evolving. And then I kept upscaling. Apart from the academic, I kept doing other things, certifications, this, that, and upscaling myself so that I'm more relevant. So that when they say added advantage is required, I'm number one. I'm bringing out my best foot, And then I got into the place I currently am, and it was a waste management organization. So we are the ones that is actually, we work, it's called MAPOL, Marine Pollution. So we are IMO representatives, International Maritime Organization representatives in Nigeria. We are the only licensed organization carrying out waste management for every vessel that comes into Nigeria through Nigerian Ports Authority. So we have port reception facilities from cradle to cradle. We used to do cradle to grave. We stepped up from cradle to cradle now. So we are pushing into for circular economy. Look, all this is, my foundation is zoology. Because the truth is, there is nothing that was wasted. In where I play in, we do things like monitoring. We do, what do you call it? Monitoring of soil, monitoring of water, monitoring of air quality, monitoring, and zoology has the various aspects of what you will study in zoology. Some of them are interrelated with this discipline because zoology is just your foundation anyway. So you build on it. And then I got in there, and to tell you the truth, I was the first person they employed. I was to start the department. Today, we are everywhere, including outside Nigeria. Apart from that, I started from nothing, scratch. I leveraged on mentors. But today, we are where we are today. And presently, I'm the head of the department, corporate nationwide for the organization, including the subsidiaries that we have, because we've pushed our tentacles. We're also doing offshore and all that. And also we work with IOCs. But apart from that, again, like I said, I'm a technical expert in waste management. Ridiculous. I sat in my house one day and I received a phone call from Germany. Yes, from Germany. And the call says, we have this opening, blah, blah, blah. We don't know if you're interested. Of course, it wasn't as if it fell upon me, like trees falling from the sky. I went through a process. I put in my papers. I put in a lot of things. I went through. And at the end of the day, we were two people standing, myself and a South African man. And I was chosen. In fact, as I speak to you for DQS, when it comes to environmental management system, we're only two in Nigeria that can do environmental management system. Last week, they called me, they said there is an ISO, whatever, audit to be done in a company. And I said, I don't have time. I'm choosing jobs. I said, I don't have time. I'm busy because I'm doing a lot of things. I'm doing my doctoral studies in Doctor in Biz Admin in ULBS, and my hands are busy. And they were begging me that if I don't job, because the other man was zoned for somewhere else, and I'm the one zoned for this company. So it's a simultaneous audit. And they were begging me that if I don't accept it, that they will lose their clients. Get to that point where people will be begging you and not the other way around. But it starts with where you are now. Don't waste your 4 years. I've been saying it. Don't waste your 4 years. Set the foundation. If your foundation is faulty, by the time you finish, you will not be able to do anything. You will now be building on a fault, trying to do what they call damage control. A second degree to patch it here, a third degree to patch it there. So you have this fresh opportunity now. If I was speaking to someone whose foundation is already destroyed, I would come from another angle, a more empathetic angle. But now I'm talking to you who is just starting. So you have this opportunity to lay your foundation properly so that the house that we sit on top will be able to, you can build it as high as possible and it wouldn't collapse. So I don't want to waste your time. Like I said, of course, there have been challenges. But it depends on how you look at challenges. In this cup, if you look at this picture, it's half empty and it's half full. I choose challenges as opportunities. That's what I tell myself. Of course, things will happen. Everything cannot go the way you have planned it. Even when I was in Unilag, I faced a number of challenges. Sometimes you are doing a course that is not your strength. What do you do? And that's why I started by saying, surround yourself with people, understand the structure, have mentors, even senior people, even your peers. You can have peer mentoring where you sit together and say, okay, let's do some class tutorials together. So there are challenges. And even in the industries I've worked in my practitioner life, there have been challenges to climb to the leadership. Where I am now, I'm the only female. I had the department, I'm the only female in my department. And it did not come, it was a tall order. And I'm praying for more women. It's not a gender class, but I'm just praying for more women to come on board. Because even the women themselves are chickening out and running away. Come on board. We need you there. Come and be one of us and change the narrative. So there are challenges everywhere. But how do you accept, how do you look at these challenges? Is what matters. And then, how do you overcome these challenges? I'm a Christian. I don't know about you, but number one is God. So I put God first in everything I do, and I tell him to help me. And then number two is I'm a bold person. I don't believe that anything can be impossible. You can't scare me. You can't chicken me out. I'm not saying that I don't get scared. I'm not saying that I don't see situations that wow me. But when I go back and do a self-reflection, I always tell myself, no. Except God is saying that this is not the road to follow. Number three, humility. Humble yourself. Some of us are students, but we are prouder than even the lecturers. Humble yourself. There's nothing you will gain from being proud. Bring yourself low so that you will learn. Stoop low so you will conquer. Number four, resilience. I'm not going to waste time because your HOD talked about resilience a whole deal. I wouldn't be where I am without resilience. I have received oppositions. I have received stabbings. By the grace of God, I'm in various leadership forums, various leadership, in organizations, and I know what it has taken me to get there. So, but resilience is key. You can't say because something happened to you or somebody talked to you this way or life is throwing this at you, you want to give up. Somebody said, I stayed at home for 3 to 4 years and I'm here now. You imagine you staying at home for 3 to 4 years and that's resilience. That's resilience. She didn't give up and say, let me go and learn hairdressing like some people would have done. But she kept pushing. I'm going to enter this school. And today, the person is in this university. Then learning from failures. Failure is inevitable. And your HOD dwelt on it. I've failed at different times. But I didn't stop at failure. I got myself, dusted myself, picked myself up, and kept moving. I fall again, dust myself, pick myself up again, and keep moving. And then focus. Unfortunately, I can dwell on this one because the issue and the problem now with this generation is distraction. The social media that is meant to help us is now one of the greatest tools of distraction. I have people that have done studies and research on this, so I know what I'm saying. Focus. You cannot attain anything razor sharp, I mean, to the peak and to the best if you are distracted. So settle it in your mind now. You are in school, you are already here. I need to focus on my academics. I need to focus on what I'm doing. I need to focus on this because I have a future I am going to. There is a race I am running. I am seeing a crown ahead of me. I am seeing something ahead of me, and I need to put have you seen someone running a race and is looking at those cheering him or looking at the backer? How? The person cannot make it in that race. So you need to be focused, then consistent. Keep doing it over and over again. If you have a subject that is difficult, keep at it. Some of you are here, maybe you're not strong in calculations, and you will do some form of calculations. You will do some borrowed courses. So keep at it. See, whatever you continue to do, and you continue to do, and you continue to do, small today, small tomorrow, small, and you are consistent in that, one day you will break out as the best in that field. Check anyone that has climbed the pinnacle of their career. Focus, consistency. Focus, consistency. Focus, consistency. Positive relationships, hard work, and discipline. You cannot, now everybody is looking for a short way. I can't come here and be telling you it was easy. It was not, though. It's not easy to do this course and do that course and do this course. And now I have a family, I'm doing DBA. Some of my friends are laughing. They don't know what I'm looking for. Don't worry, when I get there, when I get there, they will know what I'm looking for. I'm not saying that you must have numerous certifications to make it, but this is my own path. What I'm saying is whatever you find your hand doing, do it well. Now you found yourself in this, excel in it. So like I said, it's a journey. It's step by step. You're not going to fly. So quit looking for shortcuts in life. And these are some of the certificates, these are some of my skills today that I presently work in, some in my organization, some in consulting, some as the ISO firm I work for, the DQS. But these are some, and everything has its foundation. When I was doing the DQS application, when they wanted to take me as a technical waste expert, what did you think I used to leverage myself? It was my beginnings, my zoology, my environmental management. I already had an added advantage from many other people that were competing with me. So I'm into oil spill response, compliance policy. These are some of the things, and it's all of them have one thing or the other hooked on your foundation that you're doing today, which is zoology. So what is the future for you? I put it for me because I want you to personalize it. What is the future? In my time, we didn't have so many opportunities. Now there are so many opportunities. Even in my organization, we are thinking of automating a lot of things. AI is there. In some waste management organizations in Europe, robots are even taking over. So if you do not continue to evolve and change and meet up with the constant changes outside there, you'll be left behind. So a lot of things are happening that you have opportunities waiting for you. Sustainability is a buzzword now, and it is here to stay for a while. You can cash in on that. And then there's digital transformation. You can play in policy and compliance. So there are diverse career paths for you. It depends on how you lay your bed now in the beginning. My final advice, be purposeful. Know who you are. Know your strengths. Know your weaknesses. Like a SWOT analysis, do it for yourself. And then leverage on those strengths. Build a support around you. Stay focused and be strategic. Be strategic. Don't play stupidly while you are there in Unilag. Begin to channel your pathway on where you will be or how you will be by the time you leave Unilag. So think outside the box. Don't play small. Don't confine yourself with, I'm just a student. No, don't play small. Be adaptable. Be determined to stand out and be the best. And finally, be a change agent, even from the Unilag. And so I want to stop by saying personal development is key wherever you find yourself, whose value. Let's come into a space and let people know that you're someone to reckon with, you're a force to reckon with, because when you open your mouth to speak, value. When you're around someone, value. Develop yourself. And this is a continuous journey, but you can start from where you are. So thank you very much. I don't know if there are any.
Much, Ma. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. Wow. I can't see our hands. I can't see our virtual claps yet. Wow, wow. That was really, really, really insightful. Thank you so much, Ma. I'm very sure that a lot of us were able to learn so much from this session. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. I have a lot. All right. So, yeah, does anybody have questions to ask Mrs. Ajayi, even as we round up this session? Does anybody have any question? If you have, please kindly, okay, let me check the comments. Does anybody have questions to ask? All right. Since nobody is going to ask questions, I'll probably have to ask. So yes, I need somebody, maybe two people, to tell me those key things that, okay, you have a question, Babusiwa. All right, you can type your question or unmute and ask your question. Bright, can you hear me? Bright, your question, you said, okay, please, ma, how is it that I believe you are trying to say we are so lucky. Is that what you mean?
Okay,
Bright,
so you
please, can
think
you
it's
unmute?
luck? Could you unmute and ask your question? I think I'll understand better.
Okay, how is it that you were so lucky?
So I will define luck as preparation, jamming, opportunity. So how is it that I prepared so much, recognize the opportunities and jam the opportunities? Because nothing is free. If I wasn't prepared, you won't use the word luck.
Jesus Christ.
You know, so when most of my mates were doing other things, I was studying. I was denying myself of some things. I was preparing myself. So if that is what luck is, then fine. And so when the opportunities came, I was always available for those opportunities. In the organization I work, we take, from time to time, we throw out job, what they call it, adverts, and people come and when it comes to that, my field, I'm always on the technical panel. I'm actually the one that heads the technical panel. And I can tell you that opportunities come to people every day, but they mess it up. And so you see someone that claims he or she is a graduate, and you cannot even defend anything near what you read in school. So the truth is, opportunities at some time or the other will come to people. But are you prepared? If you're going to write an exam, if a job requires that you're going to write an exam, for example, like all those your GMATs or whatever, how prepared are you? How prepared are you? Of course, like I said, there's the God aspect. I'm a Christian and a staunch one, so I won't take that out. But my own definition for what you're calling luck is preparation, jamming, opportunity. When you prepare, opportunities, if you open your eyes, opportunities, ask God to open your eyes, opportunities are always around you. And when the two of them jam, that's what people are calling luck. There is no goosebumps thing about this thing. I don't know if you understand. So I don't know if I've answered your question. So it's not as if, like I said, I've also faced challenges. I've faced my own, but I'm a diehard person. I don't give up. No, I'm very resilient. So you need to be strong. Like I said, when you have odds against you, you tell yourself, in everywhere they told me that I am not going to succeed, I will try beyond measure. I hope I've answered you.
Yes, ma.
Okay, so he
Thank you
said,
so
what
much,
is
ma.
so, thank you. I'm seeing another question. How did you
Yes, there's
balance?
another question.
I'm not getting.
Olayemi is asking that, ma, did you have any social life in school? How do you balance it? Okay, how did you balance it if you did? And should we indulge in it? That's Olayemi's question.
Okay, so what do you mean by social life? Social life as per going to club parties and all that, or social life as per doing other things apart from academics? I told you I was president of Association of Zoology Students. That is not academic now. That's involving myself with something else. And apart from that, I actually was president of a fellowship. So those were other things. I didn't do all those clubbing, whatever, but anything that is going to distract me or distract you, I will tell you to stay away from it. Anything that is going to distract you away from what brought you to Unilag, stay. I saw a lot of my peers who started out well, mingled with things they shouldn't mingle with. I'm not saying don't have a social. That's why I started by saying I did other things apart from academics, but might not be your own definition. So I don't know what you define as social. I didn't do clubbing. I didn't do all that. Because as far as I'm concerned, those are part of distractions. And let's face the truth. But there were other things I did that were social. I had friends. I had, other things going on for me. I was also a pastor of a Christian fellowship outside campus. So I had other things going on for me. And I was able to navigate all these because I was also able to prioritize my time. That's where hard work, discipline, you have to be disciplined in everything. You have to do everything with moderation. First thing is that you are in school for academic purpose. So I will not be using the time for academics to say I'm doing church when I'm meant to be reading my book. I'm not saying I'm going for fellowship 7 days a week, even though I'm the one pastoring the fellowship. So it doesn't apply. And so even when you're doing your so-called social life, there must be a balance. There must be a balance because at the end of the day, you're not going to get degree for social life. You're getting degree for zoology. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but of course, you cannot just be academic and be lopsided. I wasn't that kind of person. I was very balanced in terms of I had other things going for me. I was a very social person. I had very, let me call them acquaintances. So it depends on what you're calling social, but there must be a balance. And remember what you are in Unilag for.
Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. Yes, so there's another question in the comments section, and it says, what is so special about zoology? How prospective is it in Nigeria? Is it only appreciated in European countries?
I think you listened to my presentation. So I am in Nigeria, working in Nigeria, although I've worked with other organizations that, cut across outside Nigeria, but it all started from Nigeria. So why is it special? I don't know. It's like saying is medicine special, is engineering special. So it depends on you, what value you place on zoology. The reason why we are celebrating these other courses today, oh, my child must be a lawyer. It's because of the value they placed on those courses. So if you place value on this, there was a time that environment was not trendy, but today now there is more value placed on it. So special is defined by you. It's defined by you. And then talking about it being Nigeria, I spent my 30 minutes saying that I've worked in different organizations and I'm here in Nigeria. I'm speaking to you from Lagos, Nigeria. So yes, there are opportunities out there, like I said in my presentation.
Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. So the final question. Oh, okay. I'm seeing some other questions, but yes, we'll just take one more. I believe Mrs. Ajayi is mainly into ecotoxicology, but then Chinonye is asking, I want to go into wildlife conservation. Are there also a lot of opportunities for it in Nigeria?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So it seemed like I spoke towards the ecotoxicology and all that. But yes, they are. I have friends and partners that is what they are specialized in. And in fact, and it's still tied to sustainability. It's still tied to environmental because when you say conservation, wildlife conservation, you are told that's part of environmental. What is environmental sustainability all about? You want to preserve the wildlife, you want to conserve them so that they don't go extinct, so that they are still available for your future generations because they're important in the ecosystem. So it's still tied to, and yes, there's still a lot of relevance. It's not only abroad, even here in Nigeria, we have organizations that are running. So that's why I said, if you do not open yourself up to know what is going on, if you're just living in the closed circuit of this is just the four walls of Unilag, me and I. So a lot of things are passing every day. And I will advise us to keep our ears open. We have the internet very close to us. Go on the internet from time to time. Search for such opportunities. Don't wait till even when you graduate. Some of these things, even as students, the opportunities are already opened up. Start searching for them, and they are there. So yes, they are. There's organizations that are playing in wildlife conservation, where if that's your area of interest, where you can actually dovetail into it. And saying that not only even not abroad in Nigeria, I also want to stress, don't also limit yourself to Nigeria. I started by saying the world is a global space. So yes, what stops you from also, going out of Nigeria and going further than even the shores of Nigeria? That's where we want to be, to the top, recognized globally.
Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. So yes, there's a question from Favor Eileen, but I think Dr. Ifeolua would answer that in after a session. The question is about public health and how to get into that part. So Dr. Ifeolua would answer that after a session. Thank you so much, ma. Would compile I think would seek permission to compile the remaining questions and get answers to them later on. Thank you so much, ma.
Thank you, Ore. And thank you everyone for having me. And thank you once again, Professor Kende Kemabunta. Thank you so much. And like she said, you can always ask your questions, send your questions. She has my email, she has my contact details. And I'm always open to and I can welcome as many questions as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma.
I sincerely appreciate you, my sister. I'm sure we will have more time to talk. Thank you so much for the way you gave so much. You gave so much for them. And I pray that none of them will waste what you have given to them. God bless you, ma'am. We appreciate you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. All right, thank you so much, ma. Before I introduce our next speaker, Dr. Ifeolua Fagbo, I want to appreciate the presence of Dr. Shogbamu, the course advisor for the year one student. You are welcome, ma. We're glad to have you here, ma, as well. Thank you so much, ma, for your presence. Yes. So I'll be reading the profile of Dr. Ifeolua. Is our next speaker. Dr. Ifeolua Kayode Fagbo is a parasitologist and medical entomologist with PhD in parasitology and bioinformatics from the University of Lagos, 2021. He also has membership in professional associations, Parasitology and Public Health Society of Nigeria, Royal Entomological Society of America, and his research interests span across medical entomology, vector ecology, bioinformatics, biostatistics, epidemiology, parasitic disease control, and his academic achievements include publications, epidemiological surveys, studies on insecticide resistance in mosquito populations, and his current role is the senior scientific project manager at Agtech Innovation, affiliated with the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. You are welcome, Dr. Ifeolua. We are really glad to have you here. Thank you, sir. You have the floor now, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to have this chat with you guys. And thank you, Oriolu and the secretary, for the emails. And yeah, I joined like 15 minutes ago, and I was glad I joined because I actually had learned a lot of things from listening to the last speaker. So basically, my topic today is to speak to us on the relevance of zoology in public health. So, yeah, from some of the questions that we've seen, I know that we may have different groups of people here. There may be people who really don't want to study zoology and probably just find themselves in and are wondering what's zoology and what will they be able to do with it. Well, I think I was also in that position too during my undergraduate days. I remember having a chat with some of my friends, and they would say, zoology, how many zoo do you have in Nigeria, and where are you going to get work and all? So, but with time, I started to understand that there's a whole lot of prospects in zoology, and the impact of zoology in public health is very massive and cannot be underemphasized. I didn't have a slide to share with you, but I have prepared some notes to just quickly talk through, and then we can have a section of question and answer. You can ask me any question you want to. But of course, I know of recent as at 2019, we had this global outbreak of the COVID-19 disease, and I'm sure most of you were aware of it, the lockdown and all. If you look at that disease very well, uh, many people have associated it with animals, and so there is something in zoology, especially those doing parasitology and the likes, and maybe wildlife conservation. You'll probably be taught about zoonotic disease. So many of the disease outbreak we've gotten in recent times have been zoonotic disease, whether you're talking of Ebola, COVID-19, and the likes. So as a zoologist, you'll be able to understand human behavior and how interactions between humans and animals could lead to the transmission of diseases and so on. So in terms of public health, knowledge of zoonotic diseases and so on could be important in helping you as a zoologist. Then another thing is vector control and disease prevention, which is the area where I found myself. So there are loads of vector-borne diseases. I was in a meeting some 3-4 weeks ago, and the professor that was giving the talk said it is predicted that the next pandemic will be a vector-borne disease one. So because if you look right now, there is a lot of movement of vector species like Anopheles stephensi, that's been a native of India, is now being found in different parts of Africa. And I could remember we also found it in Nigeria in 2018 or 2019 in one of the northern states. So it may be widespread. So this is a very strong vector of malaria in India, which has now found its way into Africa. And then if you go to Europe and other parts of the world, there are tick-borne diseases that are really causing serious problems. There is snail-borne diseases, there are rodent-borne diseases. So as zoologists that study animals, we have a good understanding of this vector and their behavior and how that could be used for vector and disease control. Then there are stuff like wildlife and ecosystem health monitoring, which things like habitat disruption, global warming, climate change, changing disease pattern, and so on. All these things have impact on public health. And being a zoologist and having an understanding of animal behavior, having an understanding of taxonomy and some of the other topics that will be taught to you guys would help you a lot in understanding these things and how you can then tackle this disease. Then we have food safety. So there are food transmitted, foodborne diseases, soil transmitted ailments, and so on. So understanding of public health can help with food safety. We have zoologists who are working as food safety professionals. We have zoologists who work in livestock farming, studying livestock, the diseases. There was a time we had bird flu disease outbreak. How can this be prevented in fisheries and so on? Meat inspection. We have different diseases in maybe some of the meat that we eat. Mr. Debo, please can you mute yourself? So these are various impacts. Where we could have the use of zoology, and then it's also applicable in pharmaceutics and medical research. Loads of research when it comes to drug discoveries. We have loads of trials like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. You have laboratory trials. You have some trials where they use animal models for this for drug discovery and so on. So zoologists are involved in all this. And then the last speaker has spoken about environmental and occupational health. And these days you are seeing a lot of people talking more of one health, because if you look at health as a whole, you can't just say, okay, this is public health or this is animal health. People are now trying to bring animal health, public health, wildlife workers, bringing everyone together, because all these various aspects have an impact on our health as a whole. So they now call it One Health. So we have different medical professionals coming together, helping to prevent future pandemics and so on and so forth. So without really going into so much details, I think it's better for me to just share a little bit of my own experience as a zoologist. I would say finishing finishing a degree in zoology and progressing as well to do a postgraduate degree in zoology has been very rewarding for me. At first, when I started, like many of you, I was a little bit confused. My 100 level, 200 level, I was trying as much as possible to change to another course, which really made me get really distracted. So I really congratulate you if you're in this meeting and learning all what has been said by the HOD, the last speaker, and every other one that has spoken to enlighten you on the prospect and the possibility of the course you're studying. So the course is really, I'll say, has wide range of possibilities, as I've said. Currently, at the moment, I work as a senior project manager, as was mentioned, but I started as a trial manager. And what does that mean? It's like managing different projects. So within this short time of working in this fair, I've worked with several organizations, uh, some of the biggest companies that you could think of in vector control or disease control. So currently, I'm just completing a study with Syngenta. I'd work with some of these companies, you may not know them. Some of them are in Europe and in the US. Currently, I'm running a big trial on repellents, insect repellent with Perigo. It's mainly in the US and Europe. And then also we're trying to do some work in Brazil, and so on and so forth. So there's like widespread opportunity. And if you look at it, some of the things that we test, maybe like novel insecticides that we're testing for, maybe Syngenta, Envo, or Sumitomo, for instance, will probably be used for insecticide bed nets, maybe in Africa or in India or in Southeast Asia. So we do all these tests. There was a day I was discussing with one of my colleagues from Unilag, and like we do all these trials and research for products that would end up being used in Africa. So this kind of lab really should probably be in Africa. That's where we should be testing this product. That's where the challenges are. And we really need to get this opportunity over to Africa. So like last month, for instance, we were looking for mosquitoes. We needed resistant Anopheles mosquitoes, and we were sending mails to different labs to see if we could, and we're going to buy them with money. We buy things like ticks with money. So we have labs in Europe that all they do is just rear ticks, and if we need them for research, we could buy. Like the Perigo study I was talking about, we used loads of ticks for that study. We were buying ticks in the going to about £50,000 worth of ticks or even more. And we're still doing that as well. So basically there's loads of business opportunity in as a zoologist. So what I would say is that as you go out as a zoologist, as a scientist, one of the things you must have is observation. When you are being given assignments, you're given field work, group work and all, and you are asked to go out to do something, anything you observe and you see, you observe, then you ask questions. There is really no silly or bad question. If you don't understand anything, ask questions. So you may probably be seeing a solution in front of you to a big problem. Like last year, we launched a bed bug trap in my company, and that bed bug trap was designed based on bed bug behaviors. So it's one of the best bed bug trap right now in the market, and it was designed based on bed bug behavior, so they are more attracted to it. There is no what will I say? There is nothing special in the design of the trap, other than we try as much as possible to look at where bed bug would like to hide, how do they move, and then the trap was designed according to that. So it does very well. Also, throughout the whole of last year, I was working with a company called Anti-Cymex on the project. And what were we trying to develop? We're trying to develop a cockroach trap. But this cockroach trap will be a smart cockroach trap. So it's a cockroach trap that would be able to detect cockroach and then send information back to the pest operators who are involved in control. So all you need is just to have a small smart trap in your room or in your hotel room, and then when it detects any cockroach, it sends information back, and then they can send pest control operators to treat the hotel or the house or wherever. So overall, I would say if you are here today and you're listening to this and you are wondering, what can I do with my degree? What can I do with my certificate? I would say, don't be discouraged. There is loads of opportunities out there for you in Nigeria. While I was in Nigeria, while I was still a student in Unilag, I got the opportunity with NIMA. And they were sending me to different states. Like they were sending me to different states in Nigeria. I visited so many states free of charge to go and see malaria control programs and work with field sites and all. And those were part of the things that helped me while I was trying to get this job. I could remember speaking to my line manager when I first joined. And she was like, when we saw your CV on our table, we're like, this is the person we're looking for. That's basically because of the experience I'd had in Unilag and at NIMA. So anything you find yourself doing right now, as has been said previously, make sure you do it well. If you are given an assignment, please do it. Don't just go to your friend and copy it. These are the little soft skills that you would need in future. Because if they give you an assignment to write a report, write it yourself. If you make mistake, your lecturer will correct you and then you won't make that mistake again. Because out in the outside world, whether you work as a zoologist or you decide to start your own business, or you even move outside of science, you go into banking or wherever, skills like you working independently, working in a group, writing reports, having presentations, doing all these things are the skills that you actually need out there. So don't take anything for granted, please. So anything, whether you are put together in a group to do a group work, put in your best, contribute, give your own opinion. Don't be shy, because what you think doesn't make sense really might be the key to the problem that you are trying to solve. And as I said previously, there is no silly question or silly opinion. Then one other thing is also try as much as possible to build relationships. In your class today, you might be in a class with a governor, you might be with a future governor, you might be in class with a future senator, different kind of people. Try to build relationship with the people that you have in class, because I'm telling you, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you guys will probably be in different places, but it would be good if you can pick up your phone at that point and call your friend who is somewhere else and can really help you. Like last week, I was in Cambridge. It was a friend from Unilag that we're living together in Erica. So he came from Unilag to do a research project in Cambridge. So that's why I went to Cambridge last week. And fortunately for me, I went to the Cambridge Zoological Museum. It was an amazing place to be. Like I saw everything I've been taught that I've never seen before. I was remembering courses like old data, invertebrate zoology, and all these things. They are not friction. They are things that's really life. And I was seeing all these things and appreciating it and snapping loads of pictures. I was so joyed that I studied zoology, going to that zoological museum. So I would just try to encourage you, as everyone has said, that don't give up, put in your best, um, put in your best in everything you do. And all those soft skills like you doing assignments, making presentation, coming to class early, like punctuality, these are the kind of things you may feel that they are very little, but really they are very important to your success in the outside world. Thank you, everyone. I hope I've been able to make some sense to you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that wonderful session. Thank you for the insight. So yes, do we have questions for Dr. Ifeoluwa? Okay, I think I would start with the question that Favor dropped earlier. So Favor is asking that what path in zoology do I have to follow to get into public health? That's Favor's question, sir. What path in zoology do I have to follow to get into public health?
Yeah, basically, public health is a very wide field, as I mentioned. So when you say public health, you're looking at disease prevention and promotion of quality health. So basically, there is really no part of zoology that is not linked to public health. I know that in Unilag we have parasitology, we have entomology, we have toxicology and natural resource conservation. So all of them are actually linked to public health one way or the other. So if you look at parasitology, you're talking of parasitic diseases and their vectors. If you come into entomology, you're talking of insects. And yeah, that's directly linked to disease control as well. Like one of the biggest projects I've worked on since coming to this place is an housefly insect. You will be surprised how a company like maybe Reckitt is interested in housefly and household cleaning products, and how housefly and all these products are quite interrelated. So there's a lot of money in trying to see how to control housefly and bring hygiene into home. There's a lot of stuff around housefly traps, and so on and so forth. And then if you go into toxicology as well, it has impacts on public health. So every aspect of or zoology has a direct link to public health. So it's now left for you that which one of those aspects do you really found more passion with? And then you can find a way to link it on and progress to being a public health professional.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So does anybody else have any question for Dr. Ifeoluwa, even as we wrap up this session? Questions, questions, questions. So as we wait for questions, just drop in the comment, in the chat box rather, what one thing that you have learned from this session, or either from this session or from the previous session. Just drop one thing that you have learned so far, one thing that is or that stood out for you in the two sessions. So I'm waiting for our comments, I'm waiting for our answers. I want to see that thing that you have learned to do differently, or that thing that you would love to do differently regarding your academics and, yes, life generally. Okay. Olayemi is saying we should surround ourselves with people. Yes. Build relationships, solid relationships, like-minded relationships. Consistency and resilience is key. Yes, very key, because it is that Unilag will show you the gbas and everything. It's just resilience and consistency that can keep you going. And okay, so somebody has a question. Adebola is saying, what skills are most valuable for a zoologist in today's job market? Okay, Dr. Ifeoluwa.
Ooh, I think that's a very difficult question to ask. But overall, I would say soft skills, like I mentioned, depending on which aspect of zoology that you find yourself. For instance, it would be good if you have knowledge of data analysis, for instance, report writing, presentation, um, ability to work independently, ability to work in a group, reliability, just some of these soft skills. Then maybe even carrying out research, for instance, any kind of research. Then so all these ones I'm saying may probably be related to if you want to work in a research-based industry section. Maybe if you want to work maybe in banking and co, it may be similar skills as well. I've done a few bit of interviews, and one of the key things that really separates candidates from themselves is basically some of these soft skills. Because we may be asking you questions around things like maybe time management, for instance. Okay, you have these tasks. How do you prioritize what to do? So in terms of the candidate that we probably would shortlist for a job role, they may all be, in terms of their academics, they may probably be similar in terms of their academics. So what would separate them would be things like prioritization, time management skills, presentation. I've had an interview for a research assistant where we had a good candidate, but she couldn't really express herself in the interview. So that was one of the reasons why we didn't progress with that candidate. So basically soft skills, and those are the things you will learn while doing this next 4 years, really, because your punctuality to class, for instance, you'll be given an assignment and be asked to present in front of the class. You may feel anyhow about it at beginning. You may not find it palatable. For instance, I can't count the number of times I had to present to Professor Kemabonta. I presented to her before, presented to Professor Tubanjo, she's retired now, and Professor Edo several times. It may not be very comfortable, but those are the skills, because right now, on an average day, I have about 3 or 4 meetings. I have to keep talking in meetings. So those things I've imbibed during those times are still helping me right now. So I won't say this is the go-to skills, but all those soft skills that you are learning right now, how to interact with people, things like maybe data analysis, writing reports, preparing presentations, and so on. Those things are very important when you're looking for a job.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, so I am at the beginning, Prof. KK mentioned that, and she prayed that at least would get a minimum of 20 first class students, and maybe the rest might be 2-1, that's second class upper. Yes. So from the summary of what our first speaker and second speaker touched, so I feel like, okay, if we really desire that we have so many first class students, if there are so many first class students everywhere, what is that thing that is going to like stand you out? Like, okay, you are going to apply for a job, and then there are so many first class students. What's going to stand you out? What's going to like distinguish you from all other first class students? So is that those little more effort that you've put into developing yourself, more of these soft skills, and our foundation as undergraduates are what keep us or build those soft skills in us. Dr. Ifelua mentioned punctuality, mentioned building resilience, presentations in class. Sometimes you see these presentations as maybe the lecturers trying to be wicked to us. Of course not, because there are times that you would have to like give presentations. For example, now final year students who are currently having our seminar presentations, even though it's virtual, right? And of course, in second semester, we're going to have our project defense, this and that. So it starts from building like these skills of presenting to probably your inner circle of friends, presenting your assignments to the class. So yes, I just want us to be intentional or deliberate about building our skills, building ourselves. And trust me, at the end of the day, you find all of these skills worthy. You find them really helpful. Thank you so much, Dr. Ifeoluwa. It was really good to listen to you and to learn from you as well. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. So yes, yes, thank you, sir. So
Thank you so much. We appreciate you and we are grateful. Thanks so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you, ma. So yes, we have our staff advisor in the house. We have Dr. Fuad Adetoro in the house. I want us to appreciate Dr. Ifeoluwa as well. Yes. I want to say our virtual aunts. Let's appreciate him. Thank you so much, sir. And yes, I want us to welcome Dr. Fuad Adetoro, our staff advisor. Prof. KK mentioned earlier that even though he's a man, but yes, he's he's a man like a mother, because he gives solid advice. Is truly a staff advisor. So yes, let's welcome Dr. Fuad, even as he gives us the closing remark. You're welcome, sir.
I think just the course advisor too will say one or two things, please.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, let me appreciate the head of department for endorsing the program to have it today. I also want to appreciate the organizers, for deeming it fit to have the presentation, albeit virtually. And I also want to appreciate especially the two speakers. This is a paradigm shift from what we used to have. And the first time we are having external presentation. It's a welcome. Thanks so much. It's good to see you. I hope you are doing well.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm fine.
Well done, sir. Yeah. As a remark, I want to, align my thoughts with the speakers of today that zoology is not next to nothing. You really need to have an open mind and I can, strongly opine that you will enjoy. And I saw some misconceptions in the chat, uh, the notion that I be able to course with pharmacy in 200 level, to cross over to medical science course. It might not be that easy. Let me not lie to you. So I would rather focus on try and give it your best as much as possible. For the extracurricular aspect of your stay on campus, I would advise that you apply caution as possible in distraction around. But at the same time, you still have to socialize, mingle, have friends across the faculties, so that at the end of the day, you have a stick and robust educational sojourn, and you'll stay here with us. And I look forward to seeing you physically, so that we'll have a nice time for the next 4 years maximum. Thanks so much for having me. You're welcome to the University of Australia and Initiative.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. So I think Dr. Shugamu is not currently on the call. She was here some minutes ago, but yes, ma'am. All right, so thank you all for joining the virtual freshers orientation. Before we close, before we leave, I want to see our comment on one thing that you are taking out, like one misconception that has been corrected. Before, I'm very sure that many of us used to feel like, or we used to think that zoology is not so relevant. You can't get a job. It's difficult to get a job. You have to work in a bank, like all those you can work anywhere, those kind of mindsets. So yes, what has changed about your mindset now about zoology? I would appreciate if I can get like at least five comments in the chat box. What has changed? What has changed? Has there been a change of mindset? Are you beginning to see zoology differently now? Okay, Amida is saying, I'm now certain that I don't have to work in a zoo. Yes, that's very correct. You don't have to work in a zoo. Zoology is not just about working in the zoo, like everybody thinks. Yes. Who else is going to tell us what has changed about their mindsets? Okay. What I'll do, Christiana is saying, what I'll do differently from this session is networking with people and also to accept the beauty of zoology, like Dr. Ife said when he went to Cambridge. So yes, there's a change of mindset. Correct. Okay, Adebola is saying you need to have connections to succeed in this field. I don't totally agree. I don't totally agree. You just need to know what you are doing, have an open mind, know what you are doing, build yourself well enough that you cannot be tossed aside. There's so much value you can build. There's so much value you can build. Mrs. Ajayi mentioned that there were people begging her to come and work with them. That's because she had built herself so much to that point that people are even begging her to come and work with them, even though she does not have the time to work with them. So it does not have to do with connections. Sharon is saying, zoology is a wide field that has so many opportunities. Yes. Idowu is saying, I can do better with a zoology degree than I can ever imagine. Yes, thank you. I'm glad to see that we've been able to take out a lot from this session. And yes, okay, Bright is saying the only connection is the God factor. Yes, there's the God factor, and also there's a part of building yourself. You should not rule that out. Someone is saying working with animals isn't as bad as most of you all think. Okay, you can work in reservation centers and as rescue. Okay, as well. You can also work with big companies such as Geographic or decide to make your own documentary. It's way broader than you think. And if you think bigger, you can help the Nigerian tourism system. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very accurate. Yes, thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining. I'm really glad to see that we have learned so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we'll be closing now. Prof. Kiki.
Yeah.
Yes, ma. Do you have anything to?
No. Go ahead. Great
All
job.
right. Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. Yes, special thanks to Prof. KK, the head of department. You know, this would not have been possible if she did not give us the permission to go ahead. And I'm glad that we were all able to take one or two things out of this session. Thank you all for joining. God bless you. And I pray that the knowledge and the information that we've gained, we'll be able to make good use of it by God's grace. Amen. All right. Thank you. I'll be ending the call now. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibukun.
Thank you very
For
much.
next time. Yes. See you.
Thank you. We appreciate.
Yes. Bye. Thank you.